Everybody, and welcome back to the Jvsh YouTube channel. Yes, we're an upload is here. I've had a very difficult past month, but I cannot miss out a video for the Champions League final where I don't know if I'll be alive by 8 o'clock to see the game because Glenavon might give me a heart. Glenavon give me a heart attack before the game, and then have to watch challenge. Already making me nervous thinking about that. But I've got my right hand man, my partner in crime, my Scottish guy, yeah, just the nicest Scottish guy you'll ever meet. And it's obviously Douglas from the Dugout Football Channel. How you doing, Doug?
I'm good, thank you. At least I can get to sit back and watch this game on tomorrow, and not have to have any nerves about it. So, but I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well, and thank you very much for having me.
Yes, obviously, if this European final has anything to live up to, the Europa League final, we should be in for a very, very exciting night for the neutrals and an absolutely horrible night for me. Obviously, first of all, I'm going to ask you a very out of the blue question. But do you think Chelsea would be in the Champions League final if Lampard was still manager?
It's a really tricky answer because, I think he would overthink things. Like I don't think you would have beaten Madrid with Lampard in charge. I think that's as simple as that. But what I will say, I think Lampard did start this journey, and Tuchel was about trying to end it with the Champions League, and I think Lampard. It's really difficult to say. I mean, hindsight is a wonderful thing. It'd be interesting to see if he had stayed on in charge, whether he would have made the final. But I'm going to say no. What do you think?
I do agree. I think Atletico Madrid would have outdone us. I just felt like Atletico Madrid really hurt us on the counter attack. Something that we were very, very bad, very exposed to under Lampard was the counter attack and set pieces. So no, I do agree. But I just felt it last because Chelsea fans have been debating about it. And I don't know why we're debating it of a Champions League final. Who gets us to the final? No, Tuchel's in charge. He's managing the dugout. End of story. Who cares? Moving on to Chelsea now. Obviously, Tuchel's came in. He's got us in the top four. Luckily, let's just say we were lucky to be in the top four. Let's not try and cover anything up. We should be playing potentially Thursday night football at the rate. But thank you Spurs. Thank you Ryan Mason, Chelsea legend. He wrote himself in the book for getting the top four and beating Leicester. Chelsea's probably last 5 games have not been particularly great. Again, we did not show up at Wembley against Leicester in any shape, way, or form. We were awful. Michael Arteta came to Stamford Bridge and outdid us, which everyone knows my opinion about Arteta. Fuck's it. And then we beat Leicester at Stamford Bridge. We played really, really well, to be fair. And then we went to Villa Park and we decided we were on the beach. Everyone decided to go to the beach for the weekend. So Chelsea's run of form going into this game is not particularly good, is it?
No, it's not. I said this on a couple of streams ago that I actually said that you had the momentum going into this final, but ever just since then it's gone a little bit sour under Tuchel. I mean, losing the FA Cup final. I thought Leicester City were the best team on the day, and I thought they deserved it. Yes, VAR controversy and all that, but I do think Leicester City deserved to win that cup. Against Villa, you were absolutely horrendous. You've got Aspilicueta, whose red card's been now rescinded. I think after having a look at it again, I think Grealish does make the most of it. So I can understand why he's been, why he's actually there to be rescinded. But Chelsea's form, as you say, has not been great recently. And you look at the other side, Manchester City, they're in very, very good form. Just obviously beat Everton by 5-0. So it's going to be a really, really interesting game. And what I will say though, I do think it'll be a tight one.
You do think it is? There's an element. Chelsea knew that for them. Chelsea knew for them to miss out on the top four, that things would have really had to go against them. So maybe there is a good potential that Chelsea were keeping themselves ready for this Champions League final. We've seen it countless times in the past. Even okay, Man City did not. Obviously, Pep went full strength against that Everton and absolutely blew them out of the park within the first 20 minutes, and then it was all about Aguero after that. We'll start off with Manchester City's lineup because Chelsea's one. There's a lot of debate about Chelsea for certain reasons, which we'll get into. But start off with Manchester City. Do we think we'll see Phil Foden as the false nine, or do you think he's going to trust Jesus, which has done nothing against us in the previous 2 games that we've played play Pep Guardiola, or do we think we might see Aguero out of the blue?
I think he'll play De Bruyne as the false nine. He did that against PSG, and it worked to perfection against PSG. So I think he'll do the same against Chelsea. I actually think you'll see the same team that played PSG for City. I actually do think that. I think De Bruyne at the false nine was absolutely magnificent. He really stole the show that night. And yes, Gabriel Jesus, he does flatter to deceive. But as it's obviously Sergio Aguero's last game as a Manchester City player, the rumours are Barcelona are about to sign him, etc. I do think Aguero could potentially start. But what I'm going to say, I think it's going to be the same City lineup that played PSG, because I think Pep knows his best starting 11 now.
I think there's no doubt, though. I think you'd agree with me on this. I think there's absolutely no doubt that that's probably City's best team. I think they're better. They've been far better. They've been far better without a striker this season, which you wouldn't typically say, in football that you're better without a striker, but that's just they have that many good midfielders and that many good fluent players that they can play whatever system they want. Regarding the back line will probably pick itself. Will probably be Cancelo, Walker, Diaz, and Stones. I would say.
I would say so. Unless he goes with Zinchenko.
I hope he does, because I think Zinchenko will get exposed on the big stage in the Champions League final, but we'll come to the Chelsea attack. We'll come on to that. The middle three is interesting. If Foden or De Bruyne is playing as the false nine, so someone else has to come into the midfield. Is he going to do the same as he did in the FA Cup, where he played for Fernandinho and Rodri and played 2 defensive midfielders, which did not work for City? It kind of took them out of their comfort zone. Or is he going to play Bernardo Silva, Fernandinho, and Phil Foden? I think he's got a lot of options in there. What do you think? Yeah. Do you think he'll play the attacking one, a balanced one, or maybe a bit more defensive?
I think he might play the attacking one. I can see Fernandinho potentially starting this game, and I think Rodri might be on the bench. I think they lack something in the FA Cup tie against you guys. I think having played 2 defensive midfielders, Pep got slated in the press for playing 2 defensive against Chelsea. And obviously it backfired with Ziyech scoring the winner. So I do expect City to play Fernandinho in this game. I think you look at Fernandinho against Everton, he was outstanding. So I think Pep's had one eye on that game to try something, and I think it's obviously worked. Why would you change a winning team? That's the thing. So I think Fernandinho will start this one. I can see Rodri being benched.
All right, fair enough. On to the Chelsea one. Now, this is where things get a bit interesting, because there is some ifs and buts about certain players, and then there's debates about who starts in other ones. Now, I'm gonna go. I have to say, if Kepa has to start this game, give the trophy to City. I'm just saying, we literally have a 50. I don't know what the probability is. I don't know. Tuchel hasn't really given much away, as you'd expect ahead of a Champions League final. But the fact that we sit here and say there is a chance that Kepa starts this game. Now, he hasn't... Okay, maybe I'm harsh on him that he hasn't been so bad coming in since Tuchel's came in. Maybe, new confidence, he's played a couple more games. But seriously, Doug, if he's in nets, we might as well give the trophy to City. He's not going to do it on the big stage, is he?
Well, it's his biggest game as a Chelsea player, let's put it that way. And we already know that he's already had one biggest game in a League Cup final. And basically, we all know what happened there. He kind of undermined Sarri at that time. So it's his biggest game for Chelsea, I would say. Probably make or break as well. If he has a good performance, then he probably stays next season. If he has a poor performance, then he's probably out the door. So this is a big game for Kepa Arrizabalaga. But obviously there are rumours about Mendy possibly being back as well. The last thing you guys needed was Mendy to go off at Villa Park. And I said at the time when we were on the podcast on Monday night, I said that Mendy going off injured is a big blow. So you just hope that Mendy has came through training unscathed and is ready for this game.
I'll ask you this, right? If you were a Liverpool fan, you're going into this Champions League final, all right? Say Alisson had broken ribs or rib problems, all right, and you either played Alisson when he has that problem, or you have to play Adrian. What are you doing?
Oh, it's Alisson all day for me.
Yeah, so I'm in the same bit here. I was exactly in the same bit here with Mendy, because I think Mendy's been very good since he came in. I don't think there can be any doubts that Mendy's came in. He's made some exceptional saves. I know against Leicester in the league, he probably kept us in the game at some points. He's vocal. He dominates his box. He's very, very tall. I know anyone who blamed Kepa for the Leicester winner of the FA Cup that's just scapegoating at that point, because even Mendy wasn't saving that. What about Kante's the other one? Now Kante originally was reportedly out of the game, but now he's reported to be in training and in contention. Now, going back to our Europa League final we had 3 years ago under Sarri when we bet Arsenal in the final, Kante was given an injection to play after a knee problem, and he played the whole 90 minutes. He had an exceptional game, but then he was out for 5 to 6 months after that, and has had injury problems ever since. The question is, this is the same question with Mendy, but Kante's different because he's already been through the same experience. Do you play Kante and risk him for such a big game and potentially risk for future problems, or does he bench him and use him in worst case scenario and trust Jorginho and Kovacic? Which we'll know Kovacic, since came back from injury, has actually been quite bad the last 2 games, and Jorginho is an on and off player. This is a difficult decision for Thomas Tuchel, probably a last minute decision as well.
Huge decision. I mean, you think that Harry Kane starting in the 2019 Champions League final against us was a big call. Tuchel starting or benching Kante, this is even bigger, because you've got the linchpin of your midfield at the case of this Champions League final, because Kante is such a good player. He's so underrated, and he has had a good season. He's had a very good season for Chelsea, but if he's not fit, I don't think he starts. In all honesty, I think, look, it's great that he's actually coming through and in training, and he's in contention and all that, but it's going to be a big decision on the night for Tuchel to make. I just think you'll probably go with Jorginho and Kovacic, but they'll probably have like a dress down day for the afternoon. They might have a training session in the afternoon. If he comes through that, then maybe you've got another decision to make on Kante. But as it stands right now, I think Kante will be on the bench.
Okay, fair enough. Left wing back. Do you go with the all-rounded Chilwell, or do you go for the attacking mind of Alonso?
Chilwell for me.
Can you imagine Alonso trying to keep up with Sterling or something in a Champions League final?
To be fair, one of Alonso's better performances was at the Etihad when you beat them 2-1.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. Look, he scores goals, but he does nothing else. He does nothing else, like, other than just turn up in the box now and again. Watching him try and cross a ball, you're probably better sticking reach on crosses or something out of the back end from the back end of Scotland, wherever he lives. Now the attacking, this is where I think it's interesting. The attacking free for Chelsea, assuming that we're going to be playing this 3-4-2-1. This is difficult.
Very difficult.
You've got Giroud, Abraham, and not Abraham. Let's be honest. Tuchel's not going to play him in a Champions League final if he doesn't play him any other time. So you've got Giroud.
No, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Abraham's gone.
You've got Giroud, Havertz, and Werner. as potential strikers, and then you've got Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, Mount, Havertz, Werner, Ziyech as potential 10s. Do you play Werner? Because Werner can get in behind City very well, like he did at the Etihad and in the FA Cup, but Werner doesn't take his chances. Do you play the experienced head of Olivier Giroud? Do you bring Kai Havertz, who isn't in the team consecutively? Do you drop Ziyech, who's been playing okay, or do you bring in Callum Hudson-Odoi, LeBlanc? This is a difficult choice. This is like Tuchel admitted at the FA Cup final that he picked the wrong front three.
Yeah.
So will he learn from his mistakes? What do you think is going to be the front three for Chelsea?
Oh, dearie me. I think Pulisic will start. I think Ziyech will start, and I'm going to go Havertz up front.
Ooh, so you're going with Pulisic, Havertz, and Ziyech?
Yep.
So you're saying you think Werner will be on the bench?
Yep. I think the thing is with Tuchel, I think, as he said, he did make a mistake in that League Cup, in the FA Cup final. He did play the wrong front three. So I think, look, Pulisic will definitely start. I think Pulisic will definitely start, and then it's a case of the next two. So I would say Pulisic certain starter, and then it's probably Ziyech, and then probably one of Havertz, Giroud, or Werner. Or what he might do, he might actually go for the experienced head and put Giroud in, because he played Giroud from the start against Arsenal in that final, and he scored 2 goals. So, but obviously this was a Europa League final. But it's. I'm glad I'm not Thomas Tuchel making all these decisions, because it's really going to be up to him for sure.
I'm very surprised you haven't mentioned Mason Mount. I thought Mason Mount seems to be a given in the Chelsea lineup. I would be Mount over Ziyech for me. Though I do agree with Pulisic and Havertz. I love Werner. I do love Werner, but I think Werner is in this game, in this occasion, I think his fresh legs off the bench would be very, very, especially with 5 clubs in the Champions League. And I just think him coming off, running behind maybe tired City players on a big stage, especially if Chelsea are in a winning position and they're having to push higher up. For me, that makes logical sense. I think Havertz is. I like Thomas Tuchel a lot for what he's done, but I think he's not had Havertz in the team more than what Havertz has actually been doing. I think when Havertz has played us the full time, he's played well. At Crystal Palace, at Selhurst Park, unbelievable. I just don't think he's playing more than what he's actually earned. I think Werner should be building the bench more for Havertz on recent performances. But hopefully he does start tomorrow and he puts in it's important to remember that Havertz is extremely young. He's actually like a year older than me. So we're going to combine 11s for these two teams then. This is. I take it you're going to say Ederson in goal. Can I have a case for Mendy, please?
Yes, I am going to say Ederson, but it is quite close. It is quite close. But what I will say, just Ederson's all-round ball distribution is one of the best in world football. There's no denying that. I know he has been a bit at fault for some goals this season, but Ederson is still, for me, the better of the two goalkeepers. So I'm going to go Ederson.
Okay, right. The back four. So left back, is it Chilwell or Cancelo?
Oh, dearie me. Funnily enough, I would probably go Cancelo.
Cancelo, okay. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say Ben Chilwell. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to say Chilwell.
Okay.
But we'll let the chat be the decisive factor. That's 2 centre backs. I'm going to say that's now Thiago Silva and Ruben Dias.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Rudiger and Christensen have arguments, but I think no one gets ahead of Dias. And if I had to pick one centre back out of the five people who's played centre back for us this season, I think Thiago Silva goes. And I think it's hard not to have him in. And I think even if those two were an actual centre back duo, it'd be quite scary.
It would be.
Right back, Kyle Walker, Reece James. He's been really good for us this season, but I think Walker's had an exceptional year. And I think Reece James, offensively hasn't been the same level as Kyle Walker.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I think Kyle Walker probably just pips Reece James.
We're going for a 4-3-3. So DM, is it Fernandinho, Rodri, or Kante?
Fernandinho.
Dogma, come on. Kante, it's Kante. It has to be Kante. Come on. It has to be Kante. Kante is exceptional at the defensive side. Surely, come on.
He is, but Fernandinho has just been a fantastic servant for Manchester City over the years, and he's probably one of the best DMs in world football, along with Fabinho, along with Casemiro. It's this Brazilians that unfortunately. So for me, I think Fernandinho will just pip Kante at this one.
He's trying to wind me up.
No, not at all.
Right, the two midfielders ahead of him, Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden. I'm going straight up.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Wait, no, Danny Drinkwater. Forgot about Danny Drinkwater. Can we put him in?
If we're basing it on probably Leicester City's form in the 2015-2016 league, then yes, but Danny Drinkwater has no place in this combined 11.
What about Bakayoko? No. Okay.
No.
Right. Yeah. The striker. Chelsea strikers have been firing in blanks all season, and City don't play with a striker. So
yeah.
Do we move Phil Foden to the false 9 and put Gundogan in the midfield? Maybe that'll be more logical.
Yeah. Well,
or do we put
I would stick with it, because you've obviously got like other forwards that have like done really well this season. So yeah, I would keep De Bruyne and Foden.
So he's going striker. do we put Aguero in there just after he broke the record at the weekend, then? Because none of Chelsea strikers deserve it. Let's be honest. No.
No. I mean, did we put Aguero? I know he's hardly played, but even then, I think he's probably the best.
Yeah, and we'll put him in because he broke the record. Because like Drury has barely played this season under Lampard or Tuchel. Abraham is dead. The guy, literally, he's a piece of furniture. Corbyn, now he doesn't move. I don't know why.
He's out of the club. He's out of the club.
Tuchel's done what he's done for me. And Werner, one, has played more as an attacking midfielder under Tuchel, and two, can't. The guy is literally finishing chances that Morata would have scored.
Morata. Oh dear.
Let's just remember we had Morata and Higuain in the same team in the same season. Just remember the pain that we've gone through with strikers over the past few years.
Yeah.
And Havertz again has not played. I don't think he's even played half the games this season, so you can't really put him in either. So we'll give it to Aguero for what he's done. I think it just shows where both teams need to look at in the summer. If you can't even pick an actual striker in a combined 11, that kind of says it all. Left wing. Are we going for Sterling or Pulisic?
Pulisic. 100%. Sterling hasn't had the best of seasons, and I think Pulisic has shown in the Champions League that he can actually, score goals. That was pivotal against Real Madrid. His goal in Madrid was so pivotal. So, yeah, for me, it's Pulisic.
I'm going to say something now I might get hate for. I think Sterling's overrated. I don't think he's as good as some people say. He blows hot and cold. He doesn't score as many good chances as people think. He doesn't assist. If he has a really bad game, he's not like. I think Pep has literally made a player who's bang average look better than he actually is. Because I don't think he's that good. Now, obviously, it's been a while since he was at Liverpool, so it's hard to compare. But I think there's far better players at Man City than Sterling. I think Sané is 10 times the player than he is.
I think he's played well under Pep, but just this season, I don't know what's happened, but he just hasn't had the best of seasons. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right in saying that he does miss easy chances. But yeah, for me, I think Pulisic over Sterling is the correct call.
And then right winger Riyad Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Hakim Ziyech, Callum Hudson-Odoi. I don't know why I said Hudson-Odoi. He's obviously not in contention, but I think Ziyech it's hard, I don't know how much you know from the outside looking in. I still think Ziyech is underachieved and probably underperformed for what we know of Hakim Ziyech. I think the Champions League he's done quite well. To be fair to him, in Champions League he's played well, but I think in the Premier League he's probably struggled. He doesn't have as many assists as you'd probably expect from a guy who has an incredible left foot. His goals haven't, his influence in play hasn't been great. So he scores some crucial goals for us. To be fair to him, he's turned up in big situations. Hopefully, if he does start tomorrow night, which I don't think he will, but if he does, hope it's another occasion. But I'm going to probably go with. It's hard because it is between the two City players. I think Mahrez edges it over Silva for me.
Mahrez, 100%. For me, I think Mahrez has a fantastic season. I also think that his 2 goals against PSG were so crucial, as well. He's a fantastic footballer, Riyad Mahrez. There's no denying it. I think you look at Leicester City losing him for, what was it, £60 million, and again that was great business by Leicester City, who got him for I think 1.5 million, I think it was, or no, actually it was £500,000 that they bought Mahrez for. So it just kind of shows that Mahrez is a fantastic player, and once had a trial with St Mirren Football Club. That's quite a sad wee thing to say, but he actually used to have a trial at St Mirren. He was very close to signing as well, and they decided to not take him up. So, yeah.
What about moving on to key players? So we've kind of got through a variety about who's going to play and all. So who would your key player, your eye to watch, be for Chelsea? Who's going to be that crucial difference maker in the Chelsea team? If it's leadership or quality or scoring, and the same for Man City. For Chelsea, I'm going to go with Thiago Silva. I think he's going to. I think it's going to be I think we're going to play City like we haven't played City before. Where I think it's going to be backs to the wall. Every small little piece of detail of defense and the shape and the press and the line is going to be crucial. I think Silva leading from the back. I just think this is again Thiago Silva's experience is going to be massively, because we've seen it. We have seen it against Villa. We've seen it against Leicester in the FA Cup. This team does not have a winning mentality. They don't have the experience of winning. They don't have the know-how of winning. It's a young team. So I think this is where Thiago Silva has to. He's as if McQuaid is going to play, he'll be the captain, but I think Thiago Silva is going to really, really need to step. As P2, he's the only player who's won the Champions League. That's in this Chelsea squad. But I still think Thiago Silva, especially being in this position, last year, being in the final, I think he's just going to be crucial, also learning from the mistakes that PSG made. For Man City, De Bruyne, I think this guy is going to be pulling the strings in the midfield. He's going to be supplying the front line. He's going to be testing that back line. But what would yours be?
Chelsea, I would say Mason Mount. I think I actually included Mason Mount in my Premier League team of the season. I think he's been absolutely outstanding throughout this season. And, Mason Mount goes under the radar a little bit for me because he was a Derby County with Lampard, and he actually played really, really well with Lampard at Derby. Came into the Chelsea side, and he's looked like a breath of fresh air. So I think for me, Mason Mount is one of those players to watch. I think Pulisic is one to watch as well. And if we're talking about City, Aguero probably, because Aguero for me is as his final game as a City player. I think Barcelona came out in the press and said that they hope to make the signing of Aguero, I think, next week at some point. So obviously it will be his last game as a City player. Mahrez, I think Mahrez is absolutely key for City as well. And then probably you look at the two centre backs for City as well. It's likely to be Diaz and Stones, which has been a very good partnership this season for sure. So it's going to be really, really interesting, matchup for me. But for the key players, I would say Mount, Pulisic for Chelsea, and then De Bruyne, Diaz, Stones, Mahrez, Aguero.
Okay, I think that's fair enough. I think this shows that. On paper, on paper, you may think, right, City have the dominant team, maybe the better bench, given the 5 subs and the 5 subs you can use and the 12 subs you can name. But I still think in certain areas of the pitch, defense, fullback, potentially the midfield can't place, it is an even match. Like City, the only thing City probably have the massive head-to-head on is the attack in terms of goals. Yeah. But if the Chelsea players, no matter who the front three are, turn up and play their game, they're just as dangerous as what City's players can be, as proven. Why we bought them. So I think people who think City are going to blow us out of the park, they're going to be an incredible team. I just think that's just false, because I think these two teams on paper, and the managers too, both managers who are really, really smart and really, really tactically, and hopefully Pep Guardiola overthinks this game and gives Thomas Tuchel a wee trophy. But here's the hard question: what is your prediction?
Oh dearie me! I mean, Tuchel got to the final last year and lost it, so you'd be hoping he wins it this year. Pep Guardiola has never lost a final, so that is a big factor in my prediction. I'm going 2-1 City. I think City will just pip it.
I'm going 2-1 Chelsea in extra time. And I will tell you this right now, I will not be on the podcast on Monday night because I'll probably be in the hospital having a bloody heart attack, because just to also put right, so just to kind of for my chat, which kind of ruins what I was going to say afterwards, but I'm going to the Glenavon game tomorrow at 5:30. Okay, Glenavon have to finish 7th place to get a chance of going into the European playoffs. Now, if you win the European playoffs, then you go into the European Conference League qualifiers. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We have to beat Dungannon Swifts at home, who are bottom of the league. But Dungannon Swifts knocked us out of the Irish Cup a few months ago when they were rock bottom, and it was their second win all year and their first win under their new manager. So if we go 1-0 down to Dungannon and Ballymena, who are the team at 8th, score, I'm going to be suffering because the Glenavon are going to bottle a chance. And then I missed the first half an hour of the Chelsea game because I'm travelling back from where we are, because the ground, Glenavon's home is an hour away from here. So I'll be listening to the radio. So I'm literally going from a must-win game for Glenavon into a Champions League final in a click of a finger. So I don't know how I'm going to cope. Doug, honestly, will you be worried about me? Will you be thinking about my suffering here? Because this is what football does to you, man. It really kills you. You're okay. Liverpool season's over. You're all
yeah. I'll definitely be thinking of you. Like unlike you, I'll be able to watch the game. I'm actually going to watch it on YouTube. I'm actually at my fiance's, so I'm actually going to watch it on the BT Sport YouTube channel, because they've not got BT Sport, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As I say, I think it'll be a tight match, but I've just got City pipping it, unfortunately.
I hope not. Just very quickly here, just before we end the show, I want, because there's been a lot of.
Oh, looks like he's had more internet problems. Obviously, this will be edited, but yeah, Josh's internet having a bit of a fit. Yeah. Technology these days. Technology. But no, what I will say, I think it should be a very, very interesting game between Chelsea and Manchester City.
Mention a die to my own channel, man. Like, this is honestly, guys, never buy talk ever. Just don't do it. But as I was saying, Doug, just before we go, there's been a lot of football talk here in the last 24 hours. And since we're doing a tier list on the podcast next Monday, which is our final podcast for a long time, which is we have to make a special tribute video with it, just play nice sad music and all. I don't know. I'll go quickly through some things, because there has been a lot that's happened. Like, a lot has happened, and I feel bad for Fabrizio Romano. This guy's probably not getting any sleep. First of all, Ronaldo going to Barcelona. You sad to see it?
Yeah, I am. But I think it's the right time for him to move on. He's won everything he can at Liverpool, barring, I think, the FA Cup and the League Cup. He's won the Premier League, he's won the Champions League, he's won the European Super Cup, and he won the World Club Cup as well. So yeah, for me, Wijnaldum will go away with my best wishes, and yeah, good luck to him.
Zidane leaving Real Madrid. I'm surprised at this. I really did not think he was leaving Real Madrid.
I think this has been happening. I think this has been coming for a long, long time. I think there's been a lot of stuff said about Madrid. I just think Madrid haven't been the best this season, and yeah, I just think when something comes to an end where you trophyless, Madrid fans do not like going trophyless. So I think it was the time for him to go.
Was it the wrong mistake? It was the wrong mistake going back, though, wasn't it? I don't think there's
Oh
any
yeah,
doubt he should
yeah,
never come
definitely,
back. Um,
definitely.
what about Ryan Mason potentially getting the full-time contract at Spurs?
I don't see it. I honestly don't see it.
Why would you give it to Ryan Mason? Like, I know you're in the European Conference League and all. Maybe there's a rebuild and you're gonna have to pay the year for some of it. Like, is it like if you think Arteta and Solskjaer, if you think Arteta is bad, if you think Solskjaer's bottling trophy for United, like it just makes no sense, does it? Like,
No, it doesn't make any sense.
What about Conte leaving Inter Milan because he didn't want to sell 80 million worth of players? Now, I think Conte was actually in the right of leaving.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen, I listened to Sky Sports talk about it. Was it Cavanier or something? That what a Sky reporter he has all these insights. Yeah. He said that the owners who own Inter Milan, actually, they owned a Chinese club in China.
Mm-hmm.
They won the league, and in the following year they shut down the club. So I think Conte's probably in the right. I think Conte's in the right of leaving. You know, you win the league.
Yeah.
You create history for Inter Milan. You've built an incredible squad, and you're supposed just to ruin it. I think Conte's right walking away. To be fair.
Yep, I absolutely agree with that. I think he's done a very good job at Inter Milan. He nearly walked out of the club last summer as well, if you remember that as well. So I think it's the right time for him to move on. I actually also say that he will probably get the Madrid gig.
I think there could be a shout. Yeah, I don't know too much about the new Inter Milan manager and Sarri, who was the Lazio manager. He did very well with Lazio. It's probably one of his cases. He took Lazio as far as he could. You know, that typical Italian football. He plays the same system as Conte does. It's hard to know because we don't know who Inter Milan are going to have next season. Lukaku to Chelsea is a very, very big talking point at the moment. Obviously, we have no chance against Harry Kane. Haaland staying at Dortmund. It's hard to preview because we don't know if Inter Milan will have half the players that they do now there next season. But it's a good replacement, I guess.
Yeah,
Serie A
absolutely. I think Simone Inzaghi's done a very good job at Lazio. He's managed to get the youth through there. They were unlucky to get well. They did very well to get in the Champions League this season, as well. But yeah, I think he'll do a good job at Inter Milan. He's obviously got a pedigree of bringing through youth. I think he'll do the same at Inter Milan.
And then I think this is the one this is the interesting one. Pirlo officially sacked. Obviously, we spoke to Reece on the podcast about this quite a lot. He said that Pirlo should stay if they got them into the top four. Not the case. Juventus has sacked him. Allegri is back. They sacked Allegri, right? Listen, they sacked Allegri because of the defensive, rigid style of play that he uses. All right, you bring in Sarri. Sarri wins the league, gets knocked out of Lyon in the Champions League, and loses the Coppa Italia. Gets sacked. You bring in a manager who was meant to be your academy manager. He was the academy manager for 3 weeks. Then you sack Sarri, and then you couldn't get your main target, so you just give it to your academy manager, which is something you do with the backroom staff, not the head coach. He literally with quite a good squad gets knocked out by Porto in the Champions League, wins the Copa del Rey, and then scrapes fourth because Napoli are bottom merchants, and that's why Gusto got sacked and now he's the new Fiorentina manager. And then you bring back the man who you sacked in the first place, the transition. Are we going to see another?
It doesn't make sense.
Are we going to see another?
Does not make sense.
Is Ronaldo going to stay because Allegri's there? Or are we going to see another Zidane-esque thing where he's going to suffer in his first season and just walk? Juventus have made a real mess of a situation, haven't they? Because you literally just bring back the man who you sacked to try and change. It's literally the definition. They never took steps forward. They've took a million steps back.
No, absolutely. And actually, Juventus are actually facing expulsion from the the Champions League as well.
Yep.
So, but I have to say it could be very, very interesting. Actually, just some breaking news actually just coming in. Apparently, Celtic's talks with Eddie Howe have collapsed.
Oh. Celtic have tried. Celtic have tried to get this Eddie Howe deal over the line for ages, and it took so long. Now, if Eddie Howe doesn't get the job, apparently the next in line is Lampard. Now, Lampard's been the second most linked name to the Celtic job, but then he could be going to Crystal Palace, which for Pitch was confirmed. So, honestly, Celtic are probably just as bad as you found. If we bring it back, it'd be higher than Paul Heckenbottom or.
Before you know it, yeah. But like I think the thing is with Juventus, I think Allegri is a born winner, but you could say that his defensive issues could come back to haunt him.
Yeah, and I don't think he has the squad to play that defensive Richard style. He doesn't have the midfield. He needs midfielders if he wants to go back to playing that way. Because we all seen it with Mourinho at Spurs, how bad his midfield was and how that went. And then just the final call, the final one. Sheffield United's new manager Jvsh, he got Fulham promoted, then got sacked. Very good Chris Wilder replacement, I think, because this guy knows his football.
I absolutely agree with that.
I'll be honest. When I was talking about names for Sheffield United job, this guy did not cross my mind. But I honestly don't think they could have got anyone better to get him back up.
Absolutely not. I think also the fact is that he was sacked by Watford before they even went up and was replaced by Walter Mazzarri. Or was it Kiki? I think it was either Walter Mazzarri or Kiki Sanchez Flores. So, he hasn't actually had a full season in the Premier League. So, hopefully he does well at Sheffield. I think it's a great appointment by Sheffield United. I think it's a fantastic appointment, and he'll definitely get his new players. And it looks like Chris Wilder's going to West Brom as well, which I think is another bit of fantastic business. If Chris Wilder got Sheffield United in the Premier League, I'm pretty sure he could get West Brom back into the Premier League, no bother.
It's been really weird. Like in terms of managers, have been really weird, hasn't it? Because you had Josie being sacked by Spurs, which you didn't ever see coming, being replaced by Ryan Mason, which no one expected. You've got Zidane, you got Coleman Bottle in the league. You've got Pirlo just about scraping top four. Pochettino might be leaving PSG, not even a year into the job. And then you had the Frankfurt manager go to Gladbach, the Gladbach manager going to Dortmund, and then the Leipzig manager going to Bayern Munich. You got the Lazio manager going to Inter Milan, and then it's just football for you.
It's like going on a merry-go-round now. It's like it just goes round and round and round until it just stops. Honestly, I honestly don't know what's happening with this managerial gigs, but it's mental. Absolutely mental.
And then also next year's going to be interesting. We've only got a Solskjaer because he lost that Europe. He literally lost to Villarreal's first ever trophy in Villarreal's history, which is crazy. I thought Unai Emery, you've called it all season long that he was going to win the competition. He got his tactics bang on against United, and obviously the penalties were just something. The penalties were just something else. I don't think we'll ever see that. I don't think we'll see that for a long time. But obviously Solskjaer could be sacked next season if they start battling next season. Even though he is meant to be, if they give him a 3-year deal off the back of a Europa League loss, which they should have been comfortable winners in, it could come back. It could come back to bite them. But anyway, I think we'll leave it there though, because we can sit here talking for a long, long time. Thank you so much for coming on. I think I've really enjoyed this 45 minutes talking about the Champions League and then just talking about all the, as you said, the manager merry-go-round. That's currently circulating.
Absolute pleasure, and obviously good luck tomorrow. It's going to be a really interesting game for sure. So thank you for having me.
And to everyone, thank you for everyone for watching. As I said, I was meant to do it on Tuesday night, but I went to the Glenavon game on my phone on 49%, like an absolute tube. So I couldn't vlog it because my phone wouldn't have been able to last. I literally came home with my phone on 1% battery. So, I couldn't vlog it. So what I will be doing, though, I will be doing a whole day vlog tomorrow, given what I kind of do on a Saturday in general, on top of the Glenavon game, on top of the Chelsea game tonight, on top of them playing Football Manager that I do with my friends. And just saying, on Football Manager with my friends, I finished in my first season, I finished 6th in the league and got sacked by Chelsea. I had to make a new manager just to be the manager of the club, and I signed Lautaro Martinez, Edison Cavani, Skriniar, and trying to sell Saul from Atletico Madrid. And I'm playing Thursday night football. So, nice. So all of that will be on my vlog tomorrow. You'll see me get about half free on a Saturday to go to work and all. So that'll hopefully be uploaded on Sunday. The transfer the footage from my phone to my computer and edit all together. It's going to be a long process, but it's going to be a really, really good vlog, and hope everyone enjoys. Hopefully Doug will come and watch it and enjoy it and see a day in life with Josh, I guess. You could say that.
Absolutely.
Anyway, and also, Doug, I do want to say congratulations on getting monetized on YouTube and gaining more subscribers. You're the reason why I'm here recording videos as we speak. So I just want to say a big thank you and congratulations to you. Listen, I can tell you right this second, we're currently going into June. By December, 2 million subs.
2 million. I don't think it'll be that much, but no, I appreciate your kind words, and we'll see where it takes me.
But everyone, thank you for watching the video. Let me know your predictions and your for the Champions League final in the comments below. Also, let me know what if you have any comments about the matches such as Allegri, Pirlo, or whatever else in the comments, and I will look at it, get back to you, and I hope everyone will enjoy the vlog, which hopefully will be on. So again, as I said, it's going to take a while to edit this thing. So Sunday, if not Monday by the latest, and we will be on the Wonderful Podcast Monday on Doug's channel 7 p.m. for it. Is it commentators tier list?
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that, because I've been kind of overthinking of this, but yeah, I'll definitely get back to you on that.
Yeah, QDE standards. Okay, QDE standards. I'll edit that in somewhere. I'll edit that in somewhere. Just on a very random comment, my friend, as it's on my Football Manager, my friend who's currently Liverpool was 4-0 up against Spurs. 80th minute, it's 4-3. Anyway, thank you for watching, everyone, for joining. I will hopefully you'll see the vlog on Sunday/Monday, and of course, I have the end of note on the most important one yet. Come on, Chelsea!